Alright, guys, so we have our final injury report of the year. Man, it sucks to say that. Because this year feels like it went by so freaking fast, and we're already at the end of it. But you know what? It just means that next season we're going to have to come back 1,000 times better and play 1,000 times, finish the job next year, okay? Get the Super Bowl win next year. So, T is doubtful for this game. He's not going to be playing this game. So, we're not going to see T again as a Bengal unless we franchise tag him. So if we franchise tag him this offseason, he'll come back next year and we'll see him again as a Bengal. But if not, we might never see T play as a Cincinnati Bengal again. Again, like I said, I truly believe we will franchise tag him either exclusive or non-exclusively. If we give him the non-exclusive tag and he ends up, we end up losing him and getting 2 first-round picks, then again, we could potentially never see him as a Bengal again. Hopefully, though, everything works out. Cheeto did not practice on Friday. He is currently questionable for this game. He does have a shoulder injury. He's another player who is a free agent after this year, so I'm not sure if he's going to play or not because of that said reason. It's the last game as a Bengal, potentially, and you're going to hit free agency, so you might just want to rest up. Again, like I said, every player is different. We know Jamar Chase is playing. He's already said many times that he's 100% playing no matter what. He wants to get 100 catches. He wants to lead the team. He wants to go out there and play for us. So he is playing. Jalen Davis looks like he is playing as well. Joe Mixon, who popped up on the injury report on Thursday with an illness, was full participant on practice on Friday, so it looks like he is good to go. Jake Browning is also good to go as he had a foot injury earlier this week. And then Trent Irwin, who popped up on the injury report on Friday with a hamstring injury, is a full participant in practice. Now let's look at their injury report. Now keep in mind that they will be resting all their starters. So for example, Myles Garrett will be out of this game. Also, there will be no Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco is going to play like 3 snaps, but other than 3 snaps, he's going to be out. Kareem Hunt will most likely not play this game. So on and so on, okay? So all their starters are going to be rested, and they're going to be preparing for the playoffs. So shout out to Cleveland again for doing that, for getting there. It is what it is, man. At the end of the day, I hope you guys beat the Ratbirds. Joe Antonio, oblique and knee injury. Full participant in practice on Friday. Probably won't play much in this upcoming game. Their punter has a left quad injury. He probably will end up playing, to be honest, but he is questionable at this moment in time. Mari Cooper is ruled out of this upcoming game. Joe Flacco, full participant in practice on all 3 days. Again, like I said, I think they said he's going to get like 3 snaps in this game, so we're going to see some Joe. Mike Ford, calf injury. Did not practice on Thursday and Friday. He is ruled out of this game. Myles Garrett's also ruled out of this game with a shoulder and hamstring injury. Which I will say, some of these players, like, again, Myles Garrett, Joe Antonio, Mari Cooper, these are starters for their team. So I wonder how long these injuries are going to kind of, affect them, especially the fact they're about to go to the playoffs. So, listen, at the end of the day, it's almost impossible to be fully healthy going into the playoffs no matter what team you are. Ravens, I think, are really good right now at being almost fully healthy, ironically enough. But yeah, no, this is kind of what you expect going into the playoffs. But some of these guys are the starters, so outside of just our game versus them, this is very surprising. See how many players they actually have hurt. So, did not practice on Thursday, limited on Wednesday and Friday. I don't know why I keep coughing. Dustin Hopkins, left hamstring injury, is out for this game. Kareem Hunt, groin injury, is limited and in full. I'm going to guess he doesn't play this game. The reason why I say I'm going to guess he doesn't play this game is because he is technically now the starting running back for them. But who knows? I don't think they have too many other running backs on that roster to kind of, fill in a rotation. Elijah Moore, concussion, is questionable. Greg Newsome is out for this game. David Njoku, again, he's probably not going to play at all. Wyatt Teller, probably not going to play at all. Denzel Ward, probably not going to play at all. That's another thing I will say that's kind of interesting. I think it was John Harbaugh who said this, or it was alluded to by the Ravens, that while they're going to put in all their backups versus Pittsburgh tomorrow, or I guess today, now I'm recording this the day before, even though they're going to put in all their backups, they're not going to start anybody, they don't have as many players on their roster who could technically come in as a backup. So they're going to have some guys that are technically starters or rotational guys as starters in, the game, because there's not that many players they could potentially put in and have as a player on the roster. Because if they're on the roster, they're technically considered either a starting option or a rotational piece. So I will say, even in this game, we're probably going to see some guys who aren't starters, but are rotational guys who are now starters. And that's the same thing with the Steelers versus Ravens game. We're going to see the same thing. Now, guys, I will be live today at 4:25 p.m. 4:20 p.m., a little bit before the game. I will be live for the Steelers versus Ravens game. And we are going to do our best here to root on the Ratbirds to knock out the Pittsburgh Steelers from the playoffs. So I will be live for that game, and if you want to stop by, check it out, and enjoy the live stream with us, we can all watch the Squealers get knocked out of the playoffs. If they don't get knocked out of the playoffs, then obviously they have to have other things happen. If other things happen, then they can get knocked out, but then it's a whole list of things that need to happen. Let's just go ahead and take a look at them real fast. Because they are not in a situation, by the way, where they win and they're in. So, just because they win tomorrow does not mean they're in the playoffs. If they win tomorrow, they have a 72% chance to make the playoffs. They need the Titans to win or the Dolphins to win. Now, tomorrow night, we have Colts-Texans. This game does not matter for the Steelers. Let's see, does it actually? Technically, they want the Colts to win, not the Texans, but it really doesn't matter as much. But let's say the Texans won. Bengals-Browns, this game does not matter. This game matters. If the Jags beat the Titans, which is possible, but I think Trevor Lawrence won't play that game. They said 53% chance. It really does not matter. It's either one or the other. Like that at this point, like if the Bills win, they just need the Titans to win. If the Jags win, they need the Dolphins to win. But if either of these teams win, they're fine. Now, looking at these games, right? Again, let me check this real fast to double check this. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is playing, because I know he was injured. He's iffy on a division on the line. Wait. His shoulder is iffy. He's questionable to play. Okay, listen. So, last week, there was no Trevor Lawrence, and the Jags absolutely destroyed the Panthers. If they win this game, right? They can win this game. They can. The Bills, if they lose, they're out of the playoffs. So, they need to win this game as well. And then you got the Ravens, who would love to knock the Steelers out of the playoffs. So there's a good chance they don't make it. Now, will they make it? With how everything turns out, usually, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, they make it, but there's a chance they don't. So tomorrow we'll be live, and we'll see, and we'll get to, I keep saying tomorrow. Today at 4 p.m., we'll be live. We'll see how this goes. And we'll root on the, I looked it up. A tie would, I think, technically still put them in the playoffs, depending on other outcomes. So, Ratbirds, win. Just win. But you know what? Actually, win like 56-7, because Squealer fans really annoy me. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.